Hey, welcome to Joe from Cell Phone Geek. Hey, today I'm going to show you the next part after restarting the computer, like I showed you on the the video right before this. After you change that setting, so then every time you install something, does it pop up and say, "Are you sure you want to allow Windows to install this?" Well, I just did the restart, so now I'm doing a new video where we started the computer here, Windows 8. So we're going to go back into it here. So what you want to do again here is go into the desktop view. So click on desktop. That will load your home screen here. Go ahead and click on Internet Explorer. We're going to install some apps. So I'm going to start off with Firefox here. So Internet Explorer should load here. Alright, loaded. Go here. This is the MSN Bing search. You can use Google if you'd like, but it doesn't matter. As long as you can get to the Firefox page to download Firefox. Just Mozilla Firefox and you hit the download. Should bring me to the page here. Yep, here it is. Download for English, Windows. And good old Internet Explorer takes a while to load. There we go. Click on it again. Download. And there it is. Do you want to run or save? I'm going to hit save. Just in case, because you never know. Sometimes Internet Explorer just crashes for no reason. At least it happens to me all the time. Internet Explorer likes to crash for me a lot. So that's why I hardly ever use it. That's probably why it crashes on me, because I don't use it. I rather use Firefox. I like Firefox. Alright, so that's downloading. I'm going to go ahead and close that download window. Going to change this over to Google. Go to Google here. I'll put a link in the description here of all the apps that I go and install, so you can follow along from the description. Otherwise, if you just watch the video here, I tell you what they are too. So first one was Firefox, so that's download. I'm going to go ahead and do Komodo antivirus as my second one. So we have a virus program here, which is the last one on this choice on the list for Google search. Otherwise, it's just Komodo antivirus. Punch down the search. And then you want to go to the one that says antivirus.komodo.com. For me, it's the second one on the list. You could just click that. You could just type that into as the address. It's just antivirus and then a period, komodo.com or period com for com. Then this page will load here, and then click on Komodo antivirus, the free download, which is this green button here. Go ahead and click on that, and that should ask you if you want to save or run. So again, I'm going to hit save just in case. I recommend you saving it because sometimes it crashes in the middle of the download. If there's a bunch of people that are trying to download at the same time as you, it'll lag and then it may cut you off. And then you won't be able to, you'll have to start all over basically from the download again if you just hit the run. So I always like to hit save. Then the next thing I'm going to do is hit open folder, and then it'll show you your downloaded apps. Alright, so they're in the list here. Can minimize it because we're not done yet. So I'm going to go ahead and hit back again. Basically, you want to go back to Google search, so you can type in Google to google.com for the search. Alright, go ahead and clear out your search there and do CCleaner, and that's two C's and one's a C and then the word cleaner including another C, so you should have two C's in your search. And then when you want it, one said load to you like mine, go to the filehippo.com website, which is like the fourth one down for me. I'm not sure. It'd probably be the same for you if you're using Google. Or I just look for the FileHippo one. It's the easiest one to download from. And once it loads, then on the top right it says download latest version. You want to click on that, and then it will ask you if you want to save or run. And then of course we're going to hit save again once it pops up. Oh, okay, here it is. Save. Alright, so it's going to save that one. Go ahead and click the back button a few times because we're going back to Google. You can install Google Chrome if you'd like at this point as well, or download it at least. Download the install for Google Chrome because I know some of you out there like Google Chrome. I just started using it. It's okay. I haven't used it too much, so I can't really say. See, like right here, it says blank page. Internet Explorer decided you don't need to surf the internet anymore, so it went to a blank page. So I'm going back to Google for whatever reason. It didn't want me to go back to the Google page I was on. So I'm going to type in Google Chrome. Chrome browser. or just Chrome browser. I guess you could Google that as well. So download Chrome, and don't want to help. Accept and install. You can check that box if you want to help make Google Chrome better by automatically sending usable statistics. And then it's going to ask you if you want to hit run or save. So I'm going to hit save again. So that's saving. You can go ahead and go back to Google, and let's see. Oh, we have antivirus, and we have cookie cleaner / history remover. We need Spybot, and then search and repair. And you can put it in with CNET or not, either way. We're going to be downloading the CNET version, so it's the third one down here. It says download.cnet.com, and that's for the Spybot search and destroy. Go ahead and hit download now. And then it's going to ask you if you want to save or run. I'm going to hit save again. Alright, so that's going. Let's see. I don't think I'm missing anything off the top of my head. I think that's a good start. Okay, so once that's done, go ahead and just minimize Internet Explorer because it's still downloading some of them, as you can see here. It's got the green process bar going across. Alright, in the meantime, I should be able to install some of these, but how do I know which ones are done? Oh, I guess these two that aren't done show like it's a web page. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do Firefox here. Start installing this one. Firefox 19.0.2 just came out recently, I guess within last week. Like all of a sudden last week there was Firefox update, and then the next day Firefox update. So they must have had some issues they had to fix there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and hit next, hit standard, hit next. That's where it's going to install it, which is fine. I hit install. It says installing Firefox. I'm currently running like 3.5 gigs of RAM on this virtual Windows 8 here, just in case you guys didn't know that. Alright, so it says launch Firefox now, so I'm going to hit OK, hit finish. So it's going to open Firefox here for the first time. I don't want to import anything because obviously this new install, there's nothing really to import except for some Microsoft links. Alright, so it's opening Firefox. Do you want to perform this, use this? I'm going to hit yes because I want this as my default browser. Blows up full screen. How do you want to open this type of link, which is HTTP? Okay, so basically we're on Windows 8, so you're not normally in this view all the time. So what do you want to use? I'm going to keep using Internet Explorer for right now because the new Internet Explorer 10 is pretty sweet. So you can play around with that a little bit later. So I left that for that one. But here's welcome to Facebook. Welcome to Firefox. You can watch a video if you'd like. If you've never used Firefox before. A couple of settings that changed right away here on Firefox. If you just right-click on the top here, you want your menu bar. I like to have the menu bar visible all the time, and then right-click again and hit toolbars, bookmarks toolbar, which shows you bookmarks here. So when you go to a web page, like if I go to google.com, once that loads, it's just still loading, taking a while because I'm downloading here. But once that loads, then you just grab the little globe here next to the www, or if there's no www, you might have HTTP. But it's a little globe next to it. If you just left click on that and drag and drop into this bookmark bar toolbar here, then it automatically puts a link here. So now I have a bookmark page here. So if I hit getting started, it automatically go to that website, which is just a bookmark. And then if I want to go back to Google, and you can be on any website, and this will work because this is always in your Firefox window. You hit Google, and it'll go back to Google. And then if you decide, I don't want this this bookmark up here anymore. Oh, and you have most visited also. So if you don't want this up here anymore, one of these bookmarks, just right-click on one of them. Menu will pop up, and whatever one you right-click on, that's the one that's going to delete. And then you just hit this delete, and it's gone. It's really that easy. And if you want to hide this whole toolbar, of course, you just right-click up here on the top bar, and then you just click on the bookmarks toolbar once again, and it will uncheck it, and then it'll disappear. And also, if for some reason when you click on the link and it doesn't go where you want it, you can always right-click on it, or when you hover over it, tells you what the URL is. But if the URL is wrong, you can right-click on it. Instead of hitting delete, you have other options like get properties, You have open a new tab, open a new window. You can create a new bookmark. You can make a folder here. You can put one of those divider, separator things. So I'm going to hit properties, like if you want to change the URL, and then pulls up a menu here for location, and then you can change it. So if it's not really .com, or if the website got changed and it's not .com anymore, now it's .net, then you just go in here and you can change it to .net and hit save, and then it fixes it itself. So the next time when you click on it, it'll load the page the way it's supposed to. Alright, so the next thing to do here, while we're still in Firefox, is go to Google search and then type in Adobe and hit enter. So you just want the word Adobe, and once it loads here, it'll have just adobe.com. But when you're in Google here, it has a couple of links here. Bing also has it. You want to click on one that says downloads, but make sure it's under the Adobe. And when you do that, it just goes to adobe.com/downloads, and it'll show you all their available programs. And then off on the right here, there's the readers and players, which pretty much every computer should have if you're going to be using your computer on the internet. So what I do is hold down the control key, and then I click on all four of these little icons here, which what it does is opens up a new tab. When I click on it, see it opens a new tab. Otherwise, you can right click on your mouse and you can hit open link in a new tab. It does the same thing, but holding down the control key on your keyboard makes it faster. So I'm going to go ahead and open all four of those links. So those are now open. Go ahead and hit the back arrow. And actually, I think you're done. You can actually close this tab. So on the top here, you have all these tabs open. The X that's right to the right of on your tab within that tab. You click on the X, that closes that one tab. And now we're going to go ahead and do Adobe Reader. So I'm going to go ahead and uncheck the install McAfee because we don't want McAfee. And then hit download now. And then it's going to open up a download window. And then you just hit save file. And then the downloads window. That's weird. Can I change the contents of that folder? Huh. That was weird. I've never seen that here before. I just hit the little redo guy and then he did it again. So now I downloaded it already. The reader's fairly small. It's actually just a shortcut to the actual install. Then go ahead and close that tab. And then for the next one here, Adobe Flash Player. You need this, of course, if you're watching YouTube videos like to watch my video. You're obviously going to need this. So uncheck the box again for McAfee. Hit download now. And it should, hit save file, and then that will be downloading. You can close this window. The next one here is Adobe Air. You kind of need that nowadays too. And it just helps with your web pages or loading web pages from other people. So just hit download now, and it should pop up again here. It says save file. It's loading here. Oh, on the top here, it shows this little spinning green. That means that it's it's loading information or loading data from the web server, so your web page is still loading, so you know. It's kind of like on Internet Explorer how you have that globe that turns, so you know that it's still thinking or it's loading the data for that website. Well, in Firefox, it's got the green swirl. When it swirls clockwise like it is now, that means that it's downloading the information to your computer to load that website, and when it's spinning counterclockwise, which I guess for you guys would be this way, counterclockwise, sorry, I'm on a camera here, counterclockwise, that means that it's sending the data to the web server from your computer. So that's sending the data, and then clockwise is sending the information back to you from their server. And I don't know if this downloaded or not. No, it didn't work. Sometimes, I don't know, like it's stuck like in a loop where it's loading information in your computer, but it's not actually showing what's going on. There's a little X here at the end of your URL. If you just left click on it, it stops the page from loading, and then it says reload current page, which is not. It's like a circle with an arrow on it. If you click that, it will refresh the page. So it's basically just refresh like on Internet Explorer. There we go. Now it's like instant. The window popped up. Hit save file. So now it's downloading. You close that window, and then here you have Shockwave Player. Hit agree and download, or agree and install now. Click on that, and then same thing, it's going to pop up and ask you to save the file again. And then again, if it doesn't work, just make sure you just stop the page from loading and then refresh it. So stop and then refresh, and then it should come up. Alright, I'm going to hit save file. So I'd save that file. Now if I hover down here for Firefox icon, it shows the window that I'm open to, and also the download window. And then as you notice, I want to put my cursor or the mouse over one of them. It just shows that one window open. So I'm going to click on the download one, and it shows you my downloads. I'm going to minimize the actual browser, Firefox browser, and then I'm going to double click on the install reader. There you get the little hourglass, which is spinning. Hourglass obviously has changed over the years. It used to actually be a hourglass. Now it's just a spinning circle. That's got a little swirl to it. So at least you know it's doing something. So it's still thinking. Let's see. Check on Internet Explorer here. Show downloads. Okay, all those are done. So I can hit clear list. That cleared all the downloads in the Internet Explorer because we already opened that folder, and then hit close. And then you can close out on Internet Explorer, which closes that. Here, Adobe Reader is starting to install now. And actually what we downloaded was like a shortcut to the installation, so now it says it's getting it. So you have to be on the internet still when you go to run these applications, at least for the Adobe applications. So I choose install updates automatically, hit next. Now it's going to install, and while that one's going, I can start Flash Player, which is the next one. I'm just going up the list from the bottom to the top because it's obvious they're all done, but as you notice, the green progress bar tells you how much it's downloaded. So and once they're finished, then they fall to the bottom of the list. So I just start clicking them from the bottom of the list and then work my way up. So I can be installing them as they're still downloading, which is kind of cool. Alright, so on this one, I'm going to hit next, and then it's installing Flash Player, and then Shockwave Flash, double click on that. That should start. And if you have a brand new computer here and you have Windows 8 on it, it should be fast enough where you should be able to handle to do multitasking. So you should be able to do 3 or 4 of these installations at the same time, which is kind of nice. Alright, and then might as well do the Adobe Air is the smallest one and it's the fastest one to install. So I'm going to go ahead and run that as well. Some programs, when you install them, they don't like it when other ones are installing at the same time. So if you get that error, just don't click on anything yet and let your other installs finish, and then finish that one that gives you the error, and then you'll be fine. You don't have to like cancel it and start over. Alright, so this Adobe Air is asking me if I want to install Chrome. Oh, this is Flash Player. Flash Player is asking me if I want to install Chrome, so I'm going to uncheck the box because, as you know, we already downloaded Chrome. So if you check this, then it's going to download it again and then install it. So if you already downloaded Chrome, then don't bother having it install it here. Download install. So just uncheck it, hit next, and here's the Adobe Air. So I'm just going to hit I agree to the terms. You're good with that one. That was going. And if you click here, Flash Player or Shockwave Player is done. It says it's successfully completed. So hit close. And actually, the Firefox here, if you right click on any of these and hit Open Containing Folder, it'll show you where the installation file was stored. And once you know, you can just go ahead and hit Clear List, and then you can close out that Firefox download window. And then once you install all the stuff in this list, you can delete everything in this folder, which you already have the folder open from Internet Explorer, but that's just another way to open it. Alright, Adobe Air is done, so hit finish. Shockwave, not Shockwave, now I'm saying Shockwave. Flash Player is installing currently. If I click here to the download folder, you can see what else is left. We have Chrome, so I'm going to go ahead and start the Chrome install on here. And you can install 1 or 2 of these at the same time, or like I said, 4 or 5. It's really up to you how much time you want to spend on starting to install your stuff. For this video purposes, I'm installing them as fast as possible, obviously, because of time, so you guys don't have to watch like an hour-long video of me installing applications, basically. So just going to go through and install these. I might end up ending the video here anyways, because all I'm doing is installing them. I guess you know how to install programs by now. So this is installing the applications, or no, you may not know how to install it. Basically, just read the choices before hitting next, and make sure that you're not installing anything that you don't want, or any trial stuff. And all the stuff that I just showed you is all free applications, so you don't have to pay anything for them. And see, now it's downloading Google Chrome anyway, so all we download was the little, like, basically it's just a shortcut to look for the actual download. So that's going. I'm going to start CCleaner because that's a quick install. And then just make sure you put an antivirus on here. I like to use Komodo antivirus because it's free. They do have paid for versions, but well, for businesses and stuff, you should use the paid for version. But if you're using this for your home usage, you could just use the free Komodo antivirus, but they do offer support if you do pay for it. Otherwise, there's other antiviruses you can use. Like I know there's Avast, which is pretty good, and they ask you for your email, but then it's for your product key, and then it's good for so many months, and you can pay for that as well. You have Avast, which is pretty good. That one they don't ask you for your email. Komodo doesn't ask you for your email either, which is nice. All right, so CCleaner, hit next. I don't like to have the options on the recycle bin, so I unchecked those two middle boxes for the option to show on the recycle bin. They'll run CCleaner. You really don't need to. So I unchecked those. I'm going to hit next. This is going to ask me again if I want to install Google Chrome. So if you uncheck the first one, then uncheck the second one, it automatically unchecks the first one. Otherwise, you can just uncheck them both like I did, and then hit install. And now all it's going to do is install CCleaner. It won't install Chrome, since obviously we're already installing in the background. But it doesn't know that because it only checks applications that are already installed on your computer, not ones that are currently being installed. So that's being installed, and I don't want to read the view the release notes and run CCleaner. I'm going to hit uncheck that because I don't want that to run right now. So hit finish, and CCleaner is done. And then just basically keep track of what you've already installed so you know which ones to click on the list here. Otherwise, just go down the list or up the list, and then you'll never accidentally reinstall something you've already installed. And a lot of times it'll tell you that if it's already, that's already installed. So it can't be installed again. And sometimes it'll just install over itself, which doesn't hurt anything. It just takes up your time, your valuable time. All right, so Komodo here, we're going to start that, which is at CAV, which is Komodo Antivirus. That's what that CAV stands for, and then the installer, and then the version of it. Basically, all we have left is Komodo and Spybot Search and Destroy, and then all of these applications will be installed, and then you could just highlight them all and delete them. And I think I don't know if I'll give you a tip, another keyboard shortcut. If you click anywhere in your File Explorer here and you hold down Control and hit A on the keyboard, it automatically highlights everything, which is just a select all basically. And once they're all selected like this, then you can just hit the delete key on the keyboard and it'll delete them. We'll ask you, are you sure you want to delete these, and hit yes. Or you can right click on them, of course, and when the menu pops up, you just hit delete, and it'll ask you, are you sure you want to delete these, and then you hit yes, and it'll delete them. Otherwise, you can right click on here in this space, and I thought there was a way you can hit select all. I could be wrong. It doesn't look like it. Yeah, I can't do that. But you could, I don't recommend this, but you can left click below the items and drag up, and it'll highlight whatever ones you left. When you release your mouse, it only highlights those. So you could do that as well. It's up to you. Otherwise, you can just click on the one. If you only want to delete certain ones, you just click on the one you want. Let's see, put that away for a second. It's not going to go away. Alright, I'll show you in a second. Hit OK on Komodo. Sorry, I'm kind of jumping around a little bit here, but it is a video, so you guys can fast forward and rewind as needed. Uncheck the 3 boxes, and you don't need the email's optional, so you don't need to check that or punch that in. Then you have agree and install, or you have customize install. Click on the customize install, which is kind of interesting. When you click on this, it gives you some settings of the defaults of what's going to be installed. Like currently, they're going to install a Komodo antivirus, which is what you want. It's going to install Komodo Geek Buddy and Komodo Dragon web browser. And if you click on these, they tell you in the little description below what they are. So basically, the Dragon is just a web browser, like it says web browser. So I'm going to uncheck that because I'm not going to use their web browser. Like I said, I'll use Chrome and Firefox and Internet Explorer if I really have to. But and then also the Geek Buddy, I don't use that either. That's like a help, like a PC help, where they're supposed to help you with issues that you have. I'm going to uncheck that because like if your computer locks up or whatever, they're supposed to be able to help you. And I'm not sure if you have to pay for that or not. I never used it, so I couldn't tell you. I repair computers myself. So I just leave the first one checked, which is the antivirus, and then the next tab over, configuration options. I'll make sure that box is checked. You want that to be checked, so leave it if it is checked. Then the last tab is the files location. This is where it's actually going to be saving the program on your computer. So Just putting under C program files, Komodo Internet Security, and then all files being there. But if you're installing your applications in somewhere else on a different hard drive, then you have to change the drive letter, obviously. Otherwise, just leave this, don't change this as all either. Then just click the back on the bottom here, click on the back, and then click on agree and install, and then it will go ahead and install Komodo antivirus. Alright, so back, besides doing Control A to select all of your applications here, if you want to delete certain ones, like I'm done with Adobe Air and CCleaner, but if I just click on these, obviously it only clicks one at a time, and if I hold on Shift, then it's going, and then if I hit Shift and then click on CCleaner, it's going to highlight the Komodo antivirus. So what you want to do instead, if you just click off, it deselects them. If you click on the ones you want, after you click on the first one you want highlighted, if you hold on the Control key on the keyboard again, like you did with Control A, but just hold down the Control key, and then you click on another application, like CCleaner here, it only highlights the ones you click on when you're holding down the Control key, so it won't highlight like the CAV, which is the Komodo antivirus, so it won't highlight those. And now when you hit the delete key on your keyboard, they're gone. Bam, just like that. I thought I asked you. It must not ask you in Windows 8 if you're sure you want to delete files. In Windows 7 and in Vista, it asks you, and all the previous ones, it asks you if you want to, are you sure you want to delete these files? You can go in and change that, actually. I can show you how to do that. As you can see, it's installing a bunch of stuff, so more icons are being added, your screen's refreshing. If you find your recycle bin on the desktop, right-click on it with your mouse, and then you want to go to the properties. Mine's taking a little bit because obviously it's still installing stuff here. You should probably finish the installs before trying to do this. Do. Huh. Well, I guess it's going to take its time here. I apologize that the times looks like it's going to come out to like a half-hour video. Hope you guys don't mind, but I'm trying to give you all the information I can on installing new applications on your new Windows 8 device. Could be desktop, laptop, tablet. So it's kind of cool. Windows 8 obviously is very new. It hasn't been around very long. And hopefully more and more people start using Windows 8, because actually it's got a lot of cool features that Microsoft really never had before. It is kind of weird though that you have like I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like it's got the new view of like tablet type idea where it's made for touchscreen and the live tiles, and then it's also got a view you can click on and then it goes back to the aerial view or Windows 7 view, which is what we're in now. And it's kind of weird how you can switch back and forth between the two. I mean, it's cool in one way, but then the other way is kind of odd because obviously Apple never did this. With their Macs, you have the iOS, which is on the iPad and on the iPod Touch and the iPhone, and then you have like a lion or a leopard on your Apple devices, like on your MacBook, your MacBook Pro, your iMacs, your Mac Minis, and they never made an operating system where like it can switch back and forth. I mean, they do have the one like you can put all apps on your iMac that kind of looks like or resembles the iOS with all the applications, and you can organize them in little squares and stuff, but it's not quite the same. So this is Windows 7 is kind of taking a big leap, or Windows 8 here is taking a big leap, so Microsoft's trying something new. We'll see if it pays off or not. And I see that it's still loading here. Let's see if I can go and check some of these installs that are going on. See if that's what's slowing us down. Maybe not. Alright. Chrome is almost ready. Gonna hit next. If it lets me. Maybe not. Flash player is done. I hit finish. And Adobe Reader is done. I hit finish. Should go away. Apparently I'm doing too many things at the same time. Like I said, I'm using like 3.5 gigs of my computer just for this virtual computer. I have 8 gigs total. The rest of it's running my actual Windows 7 operating system. I'm doing some other stuff in the background at the same time, so that doesn't help. Let's see, hit next. Still not going to let me do it. control panel again is just like before. I know I had a video on tablet how to get a control panel, but obviously this is I'm running on a desktop. So if you guys using desktop or laptop, you just Control Delete, and that pulls up your task manager. So if I pulled up my wrong task manager here, let's see. If you do Control Shift Escape, that's also supposed to pull up your task manager. I didn't see task manager come up. Otherwise, you can right click here on the bottom if you're able to, and then task manager's the second or third from the bottom. And it says task manager. Let me see, my virtual machine, I have to go somewhere else. Insert Control Delete. I don't know if this is gonna work. It should. Come on. I guess it wasn't too smart of an idea to do this at the same time. I'm going to pause the video and get this unfroze, and then I'll come right back. Alright, hey, we're back.
Basically, Explorer crashed, but came back. Alright, so Chrome just finished here, popped up, asked me to log in. I'm not going to log in right now. And here's their demo video. Walks you through how to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. And then it's asking here, just shows you that Flash Player has been installed. Alright, so basically everything is installed. I gotta go back and find my downloads here. Downloads. Alright, and the last one to install is this SpyBot. It's the last one on the list. Hit OK. Next. Hit accept. That's fine. Next. Next. I'm checking the two last ones, SD helper and T-timer. Go ahead, next, install. Yeah, that's gonna install. It's gonna go to the internet again to download that. Basically, in the meantime, I can delete these icons off the desktop. Then I can use like these three: Adobe Reader, Komodo Antivirus, and the shared space. Which shared space comes from Komodo. And then to empty the we're not gonna empty the recycle bin quite yet because we have some more stuff to delete. So setup here for SpyBot should just be about done. I don't want to activate. Install Security Center. No, thank you. Run SpyBot. Not right now. Alright, hit finish. None of those open. Alright, then all I gotta do is hit Control A to select them all. If you're deleting everything, deleting quite everything. So, and then you go ahead and hit delete. Boom, they're all gone. You can close the window. And then all I gotta do is right click on the recycle bin and hit empty recycle bin, and then it says, are you sure you want to permanently delete these 11 items? Hit yes. And all those downloads we just download are gone. Installations. If you right click on it and go to properties, and then you can check this box here. It says delay delete confirmation dialog box or dialog, which is like back in Windows 7 and everything before that, where it popped up and said, are you sure you want to delete this file? Basically, Windows 8, they just took that out because they figured that was just one extra click that was annoying people. They didn't really need it. So by default, that's unchecked. But if you do check it, just check the box and hit apply. And then whenever you go to delete something, it'll pop and say, are you sure you want to delete this? So you can do that. And then once you apply, and say OK. And then whenever you delete something, it'll ask you first. Alright, so that is basically it. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.